Hey everybody, Samwise here, and I'm here with another meditation of the month. And this month's theme is plantain, which in a lot of ways is all about pulling out toxins and soothing the irritation of those toxins and inflammation. So I want to share a meditation tool that I use a lot, both in my personal practice and in my teaching practice when I do the Ancestral Healing for White Folks class. And that tool is Resmaa Menakem's 5 Anchors, which comes from this book, My Grandmother's Hands. Highly recommend, especially the parts that talk about how to be with big emotions, especially as they relate to unlearning white supremacy. I don't know about you, but I know there have been times in my life when someone has called me out for a thing or I made a mistake in my community or in my relating with someone, and that can trigger a lot of big emotions in me, which at times has resulted in defensiveness and then ended up causing more harm. So I want to offer this tool as a way to kind of sit with what's really happening for us in the moment. What are we feeling? What's happening in our bodies, and what can we notice in terms of sensations or lack of sensations, so that we can begin to notice what's really happening for us, how those might be connected to really big wounds of empire, of war, of ancestral trauma, of our current trauma in this life. How we may have been taught that conflict is scary and to be avoided at all costs, or that to be bad or wrong is to be thrown away, which is not true. That's very much a colonizing white supremacist, carceral state way of thinking, when in fact, when we are really real with how we're feeling and what's happening for us and what our needs are, and also the ways that we can show up to relationship when we may have harmed, and offer real remedies. All that takes kind of being really in touch with how we're really doing and what's really happening for us. So I want to invite folks to practice this tool with me. It helps to practice it when you're not especially activated at first, and it's really handy when we do feel activated. And Resmaa says, you'll know you need to practice the 5 anchors when you sense a conflict building, when that conflict looks and feels as if it will continue to escalate, and when you feel a growing discomfort in your soul nerve. So yeah, let's practice now, and once we practice with that a bit, then I invite you to practice in a situation when it feels like there's a tensing around conflict, and then see what happens and what you might notice. So I invite you to take a comfortable body position, maybe feeling into wherever your body is making contact with the earth. Maybe leaning back in your chair so your nervous system knows that it's time to settle. I invite you to close your eyes, just take a couple of breaths together. And together we can practice the first anchor of Resmaa Menakem's 5 Anchors, just to soothe yourself and quiet your mind as much as you can, calming your heart and settle your body. So right now for me, that might mean listening to the rain and the bird song, just kind of feeling into where my body makes contact with the earth, being held by a chair. And if you're navigating conflict, that might mean taking a walk moving your body, maybe holding your heart, breathing into your spirit, maybe offering yourself some words of soothing, like it's okay. It's okay, body. And as we settle into ourselves, we can practice the second anchor of simply noticing the sensations, vibrations, and emotions in our bodies, and seeing if we can notice them as opposed to reacting to them immediately. And taking some time here, all the time you need. It might be obvious to you, or it might be more layered. Maybe this is my experience of anger, or this is my feeling of hurt or misunderstoodness. It's whatever is here for you. Taking some time to notice, especially noticing sensations in the body, any tightness or constriction, openness or ease, any pain, any numbness or denseness. Just noticing. As we sense into what our bodies and our spirits, our emotions are experiencing, if you encounter any discomfort, we can practice the third anchor of accepting this discomfort. Perhaps we can make the difference between accepting as saying this is okay and I'm okay with it, but rather I acknowledge that this discomfort is here. This is my discomfort. And seeing if we can turn towards that discomfort rather than fleeing from it. Maybe it's uncomfortable to be with the energy of anger for you, the energy of hurt, and that's okay. Over time, we can strengthen our practices of turning towards. And as we turn towards whatever is arising for us, we can practice the fourth anchor of staying present and staying in our bodies as we move through the unfolding of the experience with all of its ambiguity and uncertainty, and responding from the best parts of ourselves, attending with care, curiosity. And as we stay with our experiences, we might find that our pain or our discomfort has deeper roots or multiple layers. And maybe our anger is related to maybe a fear of being bad or wrong or being cast out or disconnected. Maybe that hurt is related to a deep grief and sorrow. And seeing what's here for you and staying with your experience as it shifts and changes. And spending as much time as we need here. As we get ready to release these sensations, emotions, or feelings, we move into the fifth anchor of safely discharging any energy that remains. So that might be moving or stretching. That might be taking a very brisk walk or run. There's a lot of activation energy, maybe stomping or jumping up and down as a way to move energy through the feet. So whatever feels like what your body wants to do, you can let yourself do that. Thank you for, I'm going to shake a little bit. Thank you for practicing the 5 anchors with me. Thank you to Resmaa Menakem for all of your wisdom and experience in teaching. And I invite you to practice this many, many times. I know that I do, and I've started to see in my own practice a little bit more space between what I'm feeling as kind of like a inherited or conditioned response to something, and the way that I want to respond to how I'm feeling in the situation. My goal is to continue to have more space in that moment so that I can have choice and act from the best parts of myself, as Resmaa says, and unlearn patterns of conflict or communication that are poisonous or harmful. And continue to learn to cultivate ways of navigating conflict or difference or strong emotion in a way that helps me learn more about myself and also learn more about the people I'm in community with. So I hope that's a helpful tool. I hope that's helpful as well to the folks who've had me as a teacher, so that this is a recorded version of a tool that we used a lot. So I hope that you enjoy having that in your back pocket. And I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons and supporters. Thank you so much for supporting me with your money energy, with your spirit energy, with your kind words. And it's really making a big difference in my life, and I hope in the lives of folks in my sphere. So I hope that this is useful to you. I encourage you to spend some time with the book My Grandmother's Hands. I'll be doing another reading group in the fall in case you want to read that in community with folks. And yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Just another heads up that as of this moment, which is May 2022, Seed and I will be traveling over the summer. So I'll be making content again in July and August of 2022. So taking a little bit of a break to rejuvenate, but I'll see you again soon. And until then, enjoy your summer. Okay, bye for now.